are you doing right now?
I'm good.
Good.
This is like literally one of the best days of my life.
Oh my God, well there's 26 more to come.
I know. I love it. My name is Bianca. I'm 32 years old and I'm a PR consultant.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Is that something that you've always been
yes,
the
yes.
business of people management?
1,000%. Since I was born out of the womb, I was managing my 2 younger brothers. But I've been in PR for over a decade, and yeah, it's a lot of the skills that I'm going to take with me on the island. It's relationships, strategy, blindsiding sometimes.
Blindsiding?
No, I'm joking. But like, spinning a story and doing what you have to do in order to make a headline and get some good news.
I mean, that's the thing, is that there's, the positive side of things, which to your point is making a headline. There's
Yeah.
also maybe the other side, which
Crisis comms.
is, oh no, something happened. I'm going to have to curry a bit of favor, build a bit of bridges. So yeah, it feels like a little bit of a PR to SUR VIVOR bridge.
I love that. Yeah, that's good.
So then what brought you onto Survivor then?
I've been watching the show since I was 8, so
Wow.
all 24 years of it. My first screen name, no joke, was Survivor Freak 815 because my birthday is August 15th.
Okay, well I'm sure that attracted a lot of interesting types.
When I tell people that was my screen name at 8 years old, it's like I look back on it and I'm like, that is like not okay. That was
feels
very
like,
inappropriate.
It feels like there's levels of fandom where it's like fan, super fan, super duper fan. Now there's like
The
Survivor
freak fan.
Survivor freak.
Yeah, at 8, at the ripe age of 8. So I've just been watching the show my whole life, and I have always thought in the back of my head, like, I can do it, I want to be on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I finally applied, and I am so grateful. Like, I cannot believe I'm here still.
Yeah. So was this your first time applying? Had you been seeking multiple times, or?
Yeah, no, it was my first time applying.
So then what for a lifetime of fandom, what made you decide this was the time?
So I was so I had been watching it forever, but as like you grow up, you're no longer the 8-year-old. You are becoming that adult with like the walls and the tough skin and hello, PR person, very tough skin, have to be able to get told no 1,000 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
I lived in New York for 10 years. People in New York, you just walk down the street, don't talk to me, don't breathe on me, don't look at me, don't even, know. So I just had those walls up, and I was very in my head about how everyone on Survivor was different than me and like deserved it more, or like, I don't know, just something, that imposter syndrome that kind of peeks out. And I was just like, I never really thought like, oh, like I could be on it. And like, oh, these are just all like regular awesome people. And I could be one of those regular awesome people. So it just took me a while. And then I was going through this kind of like change in my life. I quit my agency job after almost 8 years.
Wow.
I started my own company. I moved to Virginia with my boyfriend from New Jersey, which is like the motherland.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just
quite literally the land of your mother, probably.
Yes, the land of my mother, the land of my entire like huge Italian Catholic tribe. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm not going to let myself quit my job and start. I had already been like, putting all the motions in place to start my business. But I was like, I'm really not going to let myself do that, which is a way bigger risk than just applying for Survivor and just seeing where it goes.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of just applied on a whim in my parents' Jersey Shore house kitchen. It was raining, and I was like, Bianca, today is the day. Get it done.
Yeah, you're going to experience a lot more rain, hopefully.
Yeah, I hope not, actually.
Yeah. Well, that being said, through your near lifetime of Survivor experience, give me a non-winner and a winner who you identify with the most.
Love that. I think Dee. I know she's very recent, but she's super top of mind for me. Just like a hustler, an entrepreneur, someone that is very, very deeply committed to her family, had them at the forefront the entire game. That's absolutely what I'm going to be doing, what I've even been doing so far. So Dee for sure. Non-winner, I have to go Steph. Like OG,
Another Jersey Italian.
Another Jersey Italian. Like growing up, she's like the greatest of all time. I think she played great games. Like she was just so badass. Like not that women weren't badass then. I feel like she just made like a huge impression in such a different way. And I'm obsessed with her.
Yeah. What's your favorite moment in Survivor history? Was it a Stephanie moment?
Favorite moment ever. No, you know what? My favorite moment, Michelle, another amazing Jersey Girl winner, when I think it was Winners at War. Yes, it was Winners at War, and she was talking to Boston Rob about like her controversial win.
Yeah.
And Rob was like, you won. He was like, if you win, you win. He was like, there isn't controversy. Like, you won, and that's it. And he kind of just like squashed it in the butt. And I was just like, I love that realness of Survivor, like him lifting her up and her sharing her vulnerability about her win, which is like, you won. Like, you're still being vulnerable about being like insecure about that. I mean, there's a million amazing moments. I love when Jeff, like, I love the banter between Jeff and the tribes, and like, there's just so many good things, but I loved that moment. And that like really stuck out in me, where it was like Survivor. Not that my whole life I didn't know it was more than a game, but I was just like, wow, like there's some life lessons here for sure.
From Boston Rob. I mean, he wrote a whole book about it.
I mean, he's the best. I love him. He's like, if I wasn't, yeah.
I was wondering, I had an implication. It seems like I was correct.
Let's just say I've had a few sex dreams about Boston Rob. Like, it may or may not have happened.
When?
Like, when I was of age.
When you were Survivor for Game on 5.
In the rewatches.
What is one life experience you feel has prepared you the most for this? Is it career-based, like you said, or something else?
No, it's 100% career-based. And definitely last year starting my own business.
Yeah.
I persuade people for a living. I persuade the founders of multi-million-dollar companies to let me do their PR and be my clients. I persuade journalists all day long to write about my clients. Like, I love them all and they're great, but, some of them aren't super sexy. And I get them in Forbes, Fast Company, Time Magazine, New York Times, Wall Street Journal. So my entire livelihood is based on relationships, people skills, persuasion, communication. And I'm bringing all that here.
Are you going to tell people that you
No.
work in PR? Okay, so
Absolutely not.
What's your cover?
I work in events. I work in corporate events.
Okay.
I work with tons of different companies, helping them with anniversary parties, launches, you name it.
What is, even from a preparation perspective, again, your job seems to be something that's part and parcel, but once you found out you were coming out here, what was the prep process like, physically, mentally?
Yeah. So my boyfriend is amazing. He became my trainer immediately, my Survivor coach. Like, literally, he had my ass outside making fire every single night for a month before I came out here.
Wow.
Yes, he immediately ordered me, like, the pull-up bars, the little grippy things.
I hear it's the number one thing.
Thanks to Charlie. A ton of puzzles, flint, kindling. I started going in the pool more and swimming. I grew up on the Jersey Shore. I'm a super strong swimmer, but I never swam as a sport.
Yeah.
Working out more for sure. I actually did a lot more yoga to work on balance and core strength. I stopped eating as much as I do. I'm Italian. I'm basically a human trash can. I'll eat everything.
You're a child from the Clean Plate Club.
1,000%. So about 2 weeks out, I definitely cut all of my meals in half. What else did I do? Mentally, just really, I journal every day, but really locked it in, up here, checked in with my positive mindset, my intentions, affirmations every single day. My family came the weekend before. We did a whole party for me. My boyfriend did the sweetest thing ever. He got everyone in my family and my two best friends to write me pre-game letters from home. Oh my God. I'm gonna cry just thinking about it. He read it to me before I left, and I was a mess, bawling like a baby. And these were intended to be plain letters for me, and we were nope, absolutely not. I'm not reading these on the plane. I'm gonna be a hot mess. So I read them all, just before we came out here, but not on the plane. And it was just amazing, so moving, and that really gave me, if I didn't already have all the motivation, just let's go, let's do it.
Well, I think it's also a great reminder for you. I mean, that's why the Loved Ones letter works so well on the island, is it's a great reminder to take your head out of the situation you're day to day, to be oh yeah, there are people back at home.
Yes.
And you got that experience before even coming out with the experience.
I can't even imagine what love letters is like when you are starving, tired, haven't eaten, haven't slept, all these things, and then you're getting them. I was happy and full when I was reading those letters. And I was still a mess.
What would you say is your greatest superpower and your greatest piece of kryptonite that you think you're going to bring into the game?
Okay, superpower is my positivity. I am a happy-go-lucky person.
Uh-huh.
I'm a very level-headed person, but I really try to bring brightness to every situation, especially like dark and annoying and like uncomfortable situations. So I really do think that's my superpower. I think like the way that I can make people laugh and make people feel comfortable, and it goes back to my social skills as well, but being positive above all else, I really think that that's something that I'm proud of, and I hope to bring to the tribe. Kryptonite. So like you're saying like what would just like absolutely destroy me? Like,
or like a quality of yours that you know you have that may be something to hamper your game.
Got it. Yeah. I'm really impatient. Like super impatient. I worked at a PR agency for 7.5 years. Shit has to get done very quickly.
Well, good news. It's a 26-day game,
yeah.
So works perfectly for you.
I even growing up, like eldest of the fam, I have 2 younger brothers. Just like everything was on Bianca time, like very much like in order of what I wanted to be doing. So I know that I can be super impatient. But listen, I'm not gonna let me not having like a chicken parm every single night ruffle my feathers. Like I'll be okay.
Yeah. So then, when it comes to impatience, is it why are you not getting this done sooner, or is it like why didn't I need to tell someone about this idol?
Honestly, I think the first like okay, like why isn't the shelter done yet? Like what are we doing here? Like or just getting on someone. Like if I feel like I'm a natural born leader. Like I know how to direct the crowd, but like I don't want to be Bruce. So like I gotta like temper that a little bit. I don't think I don't run my mouth. Like I work in PR. There's a lot of things that I'm a vault. Like I can't talk about it. I've signed so many NDAs in my lifetime. Like I know how to keep a secret. So I don't think I would get impatient of like, oh, I have to like run and tell this person something. I actually talked to my family about not telling anyone ever when I do find an idol. So I don't think it would be that.
So obviously you're in the business of image management.
Yeah.
How do you think you're going to be perceived on that note?
I know, this is crazy. It's a big role reversal now. Like I worry about myself and my image because now I'm the founder of a company and like I'm running a business, so I do want people to see me being, on top of my game, an expert, knowing what I'm doing. But what's really fun for me is like I left the corporate-ish world and like I curse a lot. I curse on Zoom calls with my clients. Like that's just me. And I liked letting myself shine through in that way. And I found like at the end of the day, you can't just monitor yourself all day long or you're not going to be yourself. So I'm going to come out here. I'm going to be myself. I do worry. I guess like one of my biggest fears is like, oh no, is America gonna hate me for some crazy reason? Like,
but then you have to think back to Michelle and that Boston RHAP conversation, right?
Right. It doesn't really matter as long as and when I win.
Exactly.
I don't give a fuck anyway.
So you wrote in your bio that you are the catchup queen. It feels like everyone is coming to you. What is it, in your opinion, that makes that role happen?
Yeah, I think I'm definitely the catch-up queen. Like, I talk to my brother every single night when we both end work. I talk to my mom, my aunt, my goddaughter. My whole family just calls me all the time. I don't even know I have time to talk to all of them, but I put them first. And I think it's just my ability to just connect with anyone, honestly. Like, I credit my grandmother, who has always been so inclusive and so all-loving and just, like, always set an amazing example, and my grandfather of just like connecting with people because people are good and serving them. So I think I just like provide a friendly atmosphere and an outlet for people to come to me. And listen, like even at work, like I have a lot of 2 people coming to me talking shit about the other, like even my aunt and my mom, who are sisters, and they know this. So like I have to manage a lot of that, you know, those conversations that happen too.
So let's talk about hopefully some of these people that will make you the island catch-up queen. Let's talk about your competition a little bit, because I'm sure you've been sitting around for a little while, and I'm sure you've been reading some people. Yeah. So let's start with the positive side of things. Describe to me some people that if you hit the beach with them day one, it's the best case scenario. This is a ride or die that you could invest in.
Oh, okay. I have been observing, but I think the one thing we haven't found out about each other is our personality. And like, that's how I vibe with someone. So this is a very hard question.
Yeah.
I think it's really hard for me to answer that right now. Like, I need to see a little bit more of like, does this person have really good work ethic? Does this person have a communication style that fits with mine?
Yeah.
Is this person someone that I can laugh with? Like, forget trust. I'm throwing trust out the window, but like, can I have fun with this person? At the end of the day, I'm here to win, but I'm also here to have a good time. So yeah, I feel like there are some people like I've shared a look with or a smile and a laugh, and it's like, oh, like I want to get to work with you, but I don't know at this point.
Is there anyone on the other side of things, though? Has there been anything where you're like, oh, that's a red flag?
No, there hasn't. There really hasn't. And I'm even looking at, like, is anyone, like, having 3 plates at lunch? Like, they really haven't prepared. Or, like, is anyone just, like, super bossy or, like, you know, sitting at the front or, like, raising their hand first for every single thing? Like, everyone's doing a great job. Everyone is playing it neutral.
Well, talk to me about what you value in an alliance, because you talk about that sense of humor, but what would you say is like the core quality you want in that number one ally?
I think it's vibes. Like it just is. I think it's again like work ethic, communication, ability to have fun together. And I think it's just vibes. Like, I vibe with you, I'd go out for a coffee or a drink with you.
Let's do it. I'm a Jersey boy as well, so we'll do it.
So I really just think that's what it is. And listen, that's me saying this now ahead of the game. Like, who knows what could happen day one where it's like, oh no, I'm a short girl, I'm 5'2". Like, maybe I need to band myself with someone like really physically fucking strong. Like, there's so many things and so many scenarios I've run in my head where it's like, right now it's a blank slate. I really don't know anything. I would say vibes first, but things can change.
Well, let's talk about something that might help you in that scenario. The DNA of the new era is all about idols, advantages, journeys. How avid are you in looking for those and finding those?
Oh, 1,000. I didn't come out here to sit on my ass. Let me tell you. Oh, I'm going to be looking discreetly, not anything crazy. But yeah, also like an alliance partner, someone that's creative, like someone that, listen, it's the new era. You have to earn everything. Like, we are not being, and nothing's getting handed to us. So I actually said earlier, like, creativity is huge in this game because every single second could be something else. And like, sure, maybe we've all watched all 46 seasons at this point, but like, you got to be creative because Jeff is going to be throwing curveballs every which way. And you have to think on your feet, you have to be able to improvise, and you have to be able to like understand that what happened 10 minutes ago is just maybe not the case for the next day, 3 days, whatever it is, and spin on it.
So I feel like the past, 45, 46, these seasons feel, it took us, the new era, even a brand new step.
Yeah.
As you've been prepping for this, I'm sure you've been, looking back on those couple seasons with one eye. What are the main takeaways from 45 and 46 that you plan to bring into your game?
Yeah. Oh, they were so good. Like, such epic seasons.
So much fun.
Like, to follow that. Main takeaways. Social. For sure, social game. I mean, you look at even earlier than 45 and 46, but, like, you look at Dee, you look at Kenzie, you look at Marianne, you look at Jam Jam. Like, these are just, like, social beings to their core, effervescent, people that own themselves, are themselves fully. So I am glad to see that what I thought might be my greatest, weakness at certain times, just like being overly friendly or overly jovial, is really working in these people's favor in these recent seasons. And I think, not that strategy goes out the window by any means, but I think maybe it's a lot harder now. Like, sure, it's shorter, it's 26 days, but like, we aren't being given rice. We aren't being given beans. Like, we're being given nothing. So you need people around you that are going to lift you up, keep you going, make you laugh, keep you positive. And I do think that social game, personality, vibes, connection really is becoming more and more important in order to win and last long.
What is your hottest Survivor take? What is your most controversial opinion about a season, a player, the show?
Oh, my hottest Survivor take. I did not think about this. What is my hottest take? such a lame answer. I mean, I was gonna say, why can't they eat fish raw? Like, I just don't understand.
I've never heard that before. I thought you said lame. It was gonna be like, oh, here's something about Final Four fire making.
I mean, that's like all I can think about. Like,
why can't they eat fish raw?
There are so many times where a tribe doesn't have their flint yet, and they earn the reward, and it's fish, and it's raw, but they can't eat it. And I'm like, it's sushi. Like, I would be just shoving that fish down my throat, scales and all. I don't care, just like gnawing into it. Like, I mean, it's fresh fish out of the Fijian Sea.
You're going full Gollum style.
Yeah, like,
I love
why
it.
not? So that's just a question I've had at the forefront of my mind. I don't know if that counts as.
I think that counts as a hot take.
I would like to eat the fish raw.
That is maybe one of the hottest takes I've ever heard in my life, let alone not Survivor related. So I'm gonna throw a scenario out for you.
Okay.
If you could bring a celebrity or a fictional character out as a loved one. I know family's important for you, but I'm gonna give you the chance to bring someone else into the family. Who are you picking and why?
Okay. See, immediately my mind just goes to like celebrities that I think are hot, but like if we're talking
Boston Rob.
Jeremy Allen White.
Yeah.
If we're talking like,
hey, he could cook that fish.
I was gonna say like, chef, get out here. Okay, a celebrity, like a family, like someone that would comfort me. Okay, Jenny Slate. 1,000%. Because like I feel like she's my soul sister, so like if she came out here, she would just like run with it and we would be sisters.
There you go.
And I don't even have a sister, so she'd be the sister I never had.
You could grab a shell, do Marcel the shell, but she was on part 3.
Absolutely. And she's just like the best human ever. She's so funny. She'd be great to have out here. Even if it was like we won, you know, the day if she comes back to the camp and it's not like the fancy spa reward or whatever, like would love to have her at my camp.
Last thing I want to ask, obviously we know 50 is right around the corner. How are you going to make your mark on 48? So we're going to be having a conversation a year later.
Ooh, I like that. Jeff told us not to focus on 50.
Okay.
He was like, focus on now. I think I'm just going to play hard. Like I came out here to play. And listen, if that means I go down swinging, like then I go down swinging. And I know in order to get asked back, like it doesn't matter how long you lasted, it's what you did in the time that you lasted. So listen, I told you once, I'll say it again. I didn't come out here to sit on my ass. Like I want to play this game. I want to find idols. I want to make alliances. I want to blindside. I want to backstab. Like I want to do all the things. I want to eat the fish raw. So I'm just going to play my little Jersey heart out and hopefully, you know, then I'll be back at 50.
Well, I'm glad you sat on your ass right now to talk to me.
Thank
at least
you.
This was such a fantastic time.
It was fun.
It was a very good time, and I'm so excited to see what you're going to bring to this.
you.
Like you said, you're going to put your full self into it from day 1 to hopefully day 26,
Hell
and that's going to be such a great time.
I'm excited.
No matter what.
Bring it on.